So, in the previous recap, Kamito becomes a slave spirit of Claire Rouge after he made a contract with a legendary sword that she desired, and with that, he enrolls in the all-girl academy. Because Kamito was the only male who could make contract with Spirit, and 3 years ago he even won the blade dance tournament. But he had to pretend to be a girl named Renashbel in that competition to hide his identity as a boy, but in the present, he had lost his contracted elemental spirit. And Greyworth knew how to find his elemental spirit, but for that Kamito must win the upcoming blade dance tournament, and then Kamito learned about Claire's past. Her sister Rubia Elstein stole a fire spirit and brought disaster to the Ordesia kingdom, for which Claire was labeled as a traitor's sister. But Kamito decided to become her slave spirit to be by her side, and soon Kamito's sword spirit named Est took on a human form to make the girls around him even more jealous. But Est was really something. She sneaked into Kamito's bed naked with only her high thighs, but when Kamito pointed it out, she showed, she's fine being naked. But she becomes embarrassed to remove her high thigh, then Est suddenly gave a kiss to Kamito because he had kissed Claire before to form a contract with her. Est was actually jealous of Claire, so she went for another kiss, but Claire came out of the bath and saw them getting lovey-dovey, so Est hugs Kamito tightly and both falls down. Claire wanted an explanation for his action, but from that angle Kamito could see the heavenly door, so Claire gets embarrassed and beats him up. Then it was time for the selection match for the upcoming blade dance tournament, and it should be a 5v5 team fight, but Kamito and Claire were missing 3 members. But Claire was confident that she and Kamito could handle everything themselves, so Miss Freya starts their match, and Claire showed her she was right. She and Kamito defeated their 4 opponents easily, but turns out they were only buying time for their teammate. So their last opponents summoned a heck ton of beast and Claire and Kamito lost their match, so having that defeat they gets to a cafe for a sugar intake. But here Rinslet and Carol comes to join them, then Carol tells them about a new transfer student who recently arrived and gave them her full bio, including her chest size. So Claire thinks Kamito is interested in big-chested girls, but Rinslet changes the subject to the blade dance and asks about their members. Claire tells her she's not getting any members that fits her criteria, and as for Rinslet she had a similar situation. So Carol secretly tells Kamito that her pride always gets in the way of forming a perfect team, so then Rinslet indirectly tells them that she wants to join their team, but Claire didn't understand. So Kamito tells Claire to ask Rinslet to join them, but she refused because Rinslet never works well with the team, like when they had fought against Ellis before, for example. But still Kamito insisted and Claire asked her out, but Rinslet was too proud and thinks Claire and Kamito were joining her team, and their little cat fight begins again. But then Ellis showed up to ask Kamito to join her team, and hearing that Claire gets a little protective of Kamito, Kamito understood Claire's fear of being alone again, so he refused. Ellis accepted that and was impressed with his nature, but before leaving Ellis told him that Principal was looking for him, so Kamito gets to Greyworth and she introduces the new transfer student, Fianna, to him. Fianna was behaving as if she knew Kamito, and as for her official introduction, her full name is Fianna Ray Ordesia, the second princess of the Ordesia kingdom. She got here because Greyworth had a mission for her, and in that time she wants Kamito to become her bodyguard. So Kamito bends down, but Fianna tells him that she had lost her rights as a princess and is now known as the Lost Queen, so about 4 years ago, when Rubia vanished with the fire spirit, Divine Ritual Institute tried to put Fianna as their next spirit princess, but for some reason she backed off and for that royal family disowned her. But right now Greyworth wanted Kamito to protect her, because several earthquakes had been reported in the mining town of Gad, and the cause of it was a strategic military spirit, which had been sealed off due to its destructive power, but now that it was awakening, Fianna could use her special blade dance to calm it down and seal it off again. But Kamito held them there to first discuss this mission with Claire and take his leave with Fianna, but in the hallway while they were talking, some girls started making up rumors again. And Fianna makes it even clearer. Then she said Renashbel and Kamito understood she knows his secret, then Claire saw them and then Fianna gets to their room, she had become their roommate now. So Kamito was about to leave their room, but Claire was uncomfortable to even make any distance, so Fianna asked them about their relationship. Claire said that Kamito is her slave spirit and then Fianna got angry, so she challenged Claire to a duel and Claire accepted it. Claire was all ready to go, but Fianna meant their duel in cooking. They both cooked a meal for him, but Claire's food was unrecognizable and tasteless. So Fianna presented her meal, which was so spicy that Claire passed out. At the same time, that Restia, Kamito's lost spirit, ordered Gio and Zagi to steal some secret document from the academy. Gio wanted to prove that he's the successor of the demon lord who made contract with 72 spirit, so he takes on the job and infiltrate the academy, but at the same time, Kamito was in the bath and Fianna comes in to help him, but they were too loud and Claire woke up, so seeing Fianna getting ahead, she joined in the bath as well. But then Es told him about an intruder, and Gio had already taken out Ellis and her companions, so Kamito arrived to assist them, but Gio had already obtained those documents, so he runs away. Leaving Claire and Kamito to pursue him, Kamito then confronted him head-on, but Gio cornered him instantly, so Fianna used a flash stone to divert his attention, so Gio attacks her first. But Kamito takes that hit to save her and Gio then runs away, but suddenly Fianna passed out there, and after she woke up, Kamito was there to check up on her. Seeing her alright, he wanted to have a personal talk with her, and Claire heard it and she took it the wrong way, so Kamito took her away to finish their talk. Then in the wood he wanted to know how did she knew his secret. So she gave him the clue to make him remember her. About 3 years ago when Kamito was in the blade dance competition in the astral zone, Fianna was there as well and got attacked by a tree spirit. So there Kamito saved her and that's when she knew Ren Ashbel was actually a guy named Kamito. Kamito had promised to meet her again but he vanished into thin air. So when she heard about him again, Fianna transferred here just for him. But her main goal to get into the academy was to join Kamito and Claire to win the blade dance tournament and reclaim her right as the second princess. But Ellis found them and thought they were engaging in that kind of activity, so she got angry, but her friends stopped her because they knew about her feelings for Kamito. Then they told him about the document that was stolen had the info on the spirits sealed in that mining town, so they were on their way to capture that thief, and the next day, Kamito and others prepared to travel to mining town. But when they arrived, they discovered it was a ghost town. Still they went inside the mine and saw Ellis being beaten up by Gio again. So Kamito entered the battle, but Gio used a poison spirit, which Ellis blew away with her wind magic, so Gio summoned his sword spirit to prove he's the demon lord's successors. But Kamito shattered his sword, so he summoned another sword to match Kamito's powers, and then he used a light spear to knock out everyone. After that only Fianna was standing, so she used a ruddy stone that was between her chest to blast away Gio. After that he disappeared and Fianna revealed she used a blood stone that can contain spirit power. But more importantly, Claire saw that her chest wasn't that big, she was using a pad to make it look bigger, so Fianna tells them, she heard that men's preferred it's big. So Kamito clarified in behalf of all men that some man out there likes it small as well, then onto that bloodstone. Fianna there revealed she lost her contracted spirit while fighting with Rubia a long time ago, so she used this stone to sneak into this academy only for Kamito, and also to win blade dance. Then the cave begins to shake up and only Claire, Kamito, and Fianna were able to fight, so Es knew the way around so she leads them to their destination. They arrived to the location, and the door there had engraving of the symbols of spirit lords, and one of which was Ren Ashbel. Then inside it was filled with water, so Claire and Fianna takes a dip to purify themselves for the ritual while Kamito stands on guard, but here Gio arrives and Kamito didn't hold back. There Kamito puts his hands on his nerves and tells him that he's not the successor of the demon lord, he's just using magic stone to look like elementalist. Gio was getting beaten up. So he used a corruption on Est and stabbed Kamito, but then Claire gets there and Fianna begins her blade dance. And just as she begins, Gio got his full body overwhelmed because he was keeping too many spirit inside of him, and those spirit were now reacting to Fianna's blade dance. Gio was beaten up, but there Resida arrives. She wanted to make Kamito realize that he's the successor of the demon lord and wanted him to awaken his power. So Resida gives herself to Gio to force Kamito to awaken his power, but he targeted Fianna, so Kamito steps in and took that full hit to save her, and seeing him Fianna's desires to save her love reawakens her spirit power she had lost long ago. She summoned her night spirit and with that 3 of them defeated Gio together. Then after that incident Kamito had lost too much of his spirit power, so Fianna sneaked into his bed to give him some of her spirit power. She then gave him a sweet kiss and Claire saw that and attacked him. So that's where our video ends for today, but comment down in the comments section if you want to watch more of this anime. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.